It's cool. It's like these things, like when they go to seed, it's like they almost form like little broccoli.
Oh, what the heck was that?
A hummingbird, man.
Why are they so loud?
Hey, what's happening, everybody? I'm Justin Gain. I'd like to welcome you to the Seeds of Xanxadu. Video number 1. So I think it's probably only fitting that I give you guys a bit of a tour of what I have going on in my garden. And as well as some of the plants too. So let's go. Alrighty guys, so right out the gate, I'm going to be the negative Natalie, you know what I'm saying? Just straight up negative. And I'm going to tell you my problem. This is my problem bed right here. This is the problem bed not because I have bad soil in here. Soil is actually pretty good. Look at it. That's what I wanted to do. Check it out. That drains nicely and then breaks right up. Great soil. Soil's good. Gets enough sunlight. You know, I would like it to get a little bit more, but hey, you know, I can't complain. My biggest problem is Mochi. You're asking yourself, what's a Mochi? Yeah, I'll show you what Mochi is. Yeah, oh, look at this side to come to the party. Look at this side, right on cue. This is Mochi, right here. Yeah, Mochi likes to get in beds, dig them up, eat all of the vegetables you have growing inside your bed. Mochi. There's really not much that you could do about a Mochi. Mochi problems suck. People have told me, why don't you put like, you know, peppers on it or cayenne peppers on your plants and all this stuff. What you don't understand, yeah, you know, what you don't understand is Mochi has 8 full-on habanero peppers. Mochi has 8 full-on jalapeno peppers. Mochi has actually 8 full-on cayenne peppers, brand new. This Mochi is a beast, man. In fact, in this bed right here, I had a freaking a horseradish growing. This dude took it out. Mochi, man. Mochi, man. Yeah. Now, outside of that, like I was saying before, this bed can stand to get a little bit more sunlight. I wish it did, but it doesn't. So what I'm going to end up growing in here is probably a lot more of herbs, lettuce, and other kind of leafy greens, things that don't need a lot of sunlight. That's what's going to end up coming in this bed right here, because I'm trying to utilize as much space as I possibly can. So lettuce, herbs, maybe some other little things here and there, but for the most part, that's what's going on in here. But yeah, I guess pretty soon I'll be doing a DIY on how to keep your dogs from eating your plants. Mochi, man. Mochi. Go out and grab a Mochi. Right here. He's so cute. He's so cute. Yeah, whatever. Mochi. Alrighty, guys. Now, for those of you who've checked me out on Facebook and Instagram, this section back here should look pretty familiar to you. This is my land of peas. The land of peas. Basically what this is an experiment to better fuel my laziness. What I'm attempting to do back here is to create a self-sustaining food-producing system, something that I don't have to touch nearly as much as a normal raised bed. Please, let me have one.
No.
Now it's going to take a couple years, but when it's all said and done, yeah, it's going to be Mochi-proof as well. Anyway, what I've done is come out here and throw a winter-hardy cover crop consisting mainly of legumes, to start conditioning the soil. And as you can see, it's already started. I already got some really good stuff going on back here. There's even worms. Yeah, there's even worms going back here. So yeah, things are it's really shifting up, man. Doing exactly what it is that I wanted to do. So I'm really stoked on it. Now, to be specific, the types of stuff that I have going back here are snow pea, I have yellow pea, and I have fava beans. Now, I've also added myself a bunch of legumes. Down here, there's a whole bunch of clover I got going. There's turnips, there's carrot, some lentils, beets back here, as well as a couple other things that I was just kind of experimenting with. So things are really looking good back here. I'm really, really stoked on it. Okay. All right, man. These are my tree collards, and they're the very first perennial that I've started back here in my section. And what I mean by perennial is that these things are going to live for at least 2 years before they die. Unlike annuals, they come around once a year and then die at the end of the season. Those are things that you normally see at your nursery. Tomatoes, peppers, squash, all that. And of course, my peas back here that I'm suspecting to be gone late spring, early summer. These things should start dying back because they don't like the heat. Anyhow, these tree collards are going to just keep on going and going. I've actually heard of these things living upwards of 20 years, so tree collards is definitely the way to go. I can constantly come back here all year long and just constantly harvest the leaves of these things because they don't stop growing. They just keep on producing and producing and producing. One thing that is cool, during certain parts of the year when it's warmer, they don't taste as sweet as they do like in the spring or during the colder winter months. Like right now, let me grab this guy. So hard to decide. This baby one. Wow. That one's more sweet and spicy. Wow, that's pretty hot. But as it gets colder, these leaves are going to start turning more of a purple color and become a lot sweeter. Now, these tree collards have been in California, at least as I know, for a real long time. The other day, my grandmother came back here, and I was like, Grandma, check out my tree collards. They're new. And she looked at me, and she was like, you must have forgot. We used to harvest these, when you were a little kid. And then it hit me. I was like, man, I can remember going with my grandfather. And at the time, my grandfather was raising chickens, so I don't know if he was trading or whatever. But anyway, he would go and get a bunch of tree collards from this guy that had them in his backyard that were just kind of lined up along a fence, and they were super tall. In fact, I've heard of these guys, like I said before, getting up to 20 feet tall. And they were just so tall, and they would go back. I didn't give a damn because I, up to recent years, thought that tree collards or any collard was nasty, but I like them now. Anyhow, tree collards, man, these are definitely the way to go. Yeah, they just keep on producing, and you can't go wrong with these tree collards. Now here is one other thing I have going back here, and these are the daikon radishes. And the part that they're playing back here is they send out a really big taproot, really, really big. So they are busting up all this clay soil that I got growing back here, and hopefully we'll start adding some more nutrients because I don't really plan on pulling these guys out. I'm just going to let them go to seed, keep dropping seed, and eventually just keep on sprouting up more and more daikon. But that big old taproot is just going to get way down and deep into this hard soil and bust it all up. So daikon radishes, definitely a pretty cool thing to do or to grow. Now, another really cool thing about this section that I've been noticing lately is the wildlife that is starting to attract. Of course, as I'm filming, there's nothing happening, but some mornings I come out here and I'll see bees floating around. Not to mention, birds come back here often. I see them drinking water off the leaves. So yeah, this little system is starting to seem to do something, and it's barely the beginning. This is a hummingbird.
They usually don't make noise.
I've only been growing now for right about 3 years, and the only way that I've really grown were in raised garden beds. Actually, I take that back. When I first started, I was growing in a container garden. I had a pretty nice little container garden. That's why I have so many pots and containers right now. Anyway, behind me is my bed of brassicas. I have cauliflower going in there.
Cauliflower.
There's Brussels sprouts, dino kale, collard greens, as well as 3 different types of broccoli.
This is the broccoli.
Okay, these are graffiti broccoli, or I've also seen them tagged as red Russian kale. Now, it's pretty easy to see why these would be called broccoli as well as kale, because like a lot of kales that I've seen, when they go to seed, they give up a head like that, you know. Now these are the side shoots because I've come out here and harvested the bigger part, as you can see, of the broccoli and threw it in a salad or something. So it's a pretty cool addition to my brassica bed, I think. Unfortunately, they don't give that big yield like my desicos and major broccolis I have going on behind me. Yeah, the desicos here are a very fast-growing, abundant variety of broccoli, heirloom variety of broccoli at that. It took these guys right about 50 days to harvest, but as soon as they started coming up, man, they just kept giving and giving and giving. I've come out here several times to harvest them, as you can see. Like, check it out. Yeah, lopping off heads and stuff, man. Everything from the leaves to the stem to, of course, the flowerette or the broccoli head. As you can see right now, they're starting to go to flower. Yeah. These things are really good. Broccoli flowers. The last variety of broccoli I have going in here right now are my major broccoli. Another one of these just abundant, fast-growing varieties of broccoli. Sorry about that. The tag read that they're going to take right about 35 days to grow. Now these took more like 45, 50 days as well as just like the desicos over there. But again, as soon as these things came up, they just kept giving and giving. So the desicos and major are two of the broccolis that I'm definitely going to be going to from here on out. They just keep on giving, man. There's abundance of broccoli. Yeah, these major broccolis definitely live up to their name. They give a major yield. That reminds me, a lot of times when I go and buy plants or seeds, I look at the name because the name says a lot about the type of characteristic that plant might show while growing. Like when you see early in the name, that's always a good indication that this is going to be a fast-growing crop. Major, like I said, I think these are probably called major because they just give a major abundance of food. So on and so forth. Always pay attention to the names, man. It's always a good tip, especially if you're anything like me and wait till the last minute to start growing stuff. My family loves broccoli, or just brassica in general. In fact, when I was making this video, my grandmother called and said she wanted some broccoli. So I went out and harvested some for her. And to me, that's pretty much what it's all about. Outside of the brassicas I have going in this bed, I also have onions, I have beets, there's, what else do I have here? So one cool thing about onions is you can actually cut down low or just cut the part of the green onion off that you want. As you can see, I've kind of done here. And then just allow it to grow back. These are the same beets that I had a picture of in Facebook. I had to totally like point them out. These things taste like a really light beet. It's really good. I can sit out here all day and eat this shit. I do sit out here all day and eat this shit. I have some mesclun. This is a mesclun. Love this stuff, man. As well as some different lettuce as well. Now what I plan on doing is planting out the entire perimeter of this backyard, which is right about 33 foot by 75 foot. So that's a lot of growing space. At least that's a lot more growing space than I've ever been used to. In fact, this bed right here is, I want to say it's 72 square foot, and it can actually hold, and it's actually holding all the soil that I had from my last garden. So that's just a testament of how much more space I have than what I used to. So yeah, I'll be growing out this whole entire backyard along the perimeter using just different techniques. I have right now a bed that's kind of based off of a hugelkultur type thing, or basically it's just a raised garden bed with a bunch of wood at the bottom. But I'm going to see what I can do with that. There's all the old containers that I used to have from my old garden. as well as just a bunch of other space that I plan on putting tomatoes in. And then way over there on the other side is where I plan on doing my aquaponics system. So there's a lot of plans that I got going on here. I'm just going to see if I could blow the brains out this backyard and generate enough food to come out and grab whatever it is that I want whenever it is that I want it. So that's the goal. I'm starting to figure out there's a lot of surprises that just kind of pop up. Some good, some bad. Check this out. This right here has got to be one of the cooler things that I got growing in my garden. Yeah, there are a bunch of what I'm assuming to be cherry tomatoes. Oh, wow. They're actually fruiting. Nice. That's crazy. That does not look like a cherry tomato. I'm not exactly sure what type of tomato plant this is. This is my worm bin. Yeah, I threw a bunch of tomatoes in here to let the worms eat, and next thing I know, I started seeing these little seedlings that over time just started to flower. Yeah, it was, I was kind of at odds whether or not I was going to use the castings to get rid of the plant or if I was just going to let the plant grow. So time went on, and eventually this thing just bushed out like this. So it's really cool. I can't believe there's actually a tomato down here. Now this is growing in 100% compost. This is 100% worm castings that this is growing in right now. This thing has made it through some of the most coldest nights here in California. So this is really cool. I mean, it has sustained a little bit of cold damage, but I mean, you can't even tell where it is now. It's like maybe a little bit of it here. But I mean, this is nothing. Yeah, this is rad. I wonder if there's any more tomatoes growing in here. And like I said, this is growing in 100% worm compost from worms that were fed rabbit manure. There you go, man. Alrighty, guys, that's pretty much everything I got growing back here. So that's the end of the video. If you have any questions or if you have any suggestions or any comments, please feel free to leave them down below and I'll get back to you as fast as I can. Other than that, man, thanks for watching my first video. Just engaged. He's a Xanxadu. Peace. Who's that, dude? This is freaking... The hummingbird. That things are crazy.